After the shadow comes something most people don't expect. The next step in individuation is not peace, it's confrontation. Jung says, you don't become whole by fantasizing about light, but by becoming conscious of your darkness. At some point you stop running and you realize, this is me, and this is also me. That's what happens in Fight Club.
What did you just call me? Say my name.
Tyler Durden. Tyler Durden.
Discovers that Tyler Durden isn't another man. Tyler is his own unlived life. His aggression, his desire, his power, his contempt, everything he pushed into the shadow. Confrontation is the moment when this truth can no longer be avoided. The gap between me and birth collapses. I am Tyler. Same thing with Gollum and Smeagol. On the surface, it looks like two different characters arguing, but psychologically, it's one psyche split in two. One voice wants to be harmless and liked. The other voice wants the ring, wants power, obsession, possession. Confrontation is when those two voices finally meet, not as cartoon good and evil, but as two sides of the same person. In real life, this doesn't happen with orcs and soap and basement fights. It happens in very ordinary rooms. You notice that every relationship ends the same way. You swear you always date narcissists, or always get betrayed, or always get ignored, and one day, maybe in therapy, maybe alone at 3 a.m. in front of a mirror, you realize the common denominator in all of these stories is me. The same applies for crises in life. The midlife crisis is very much the confrontation of the shadow, or the eruption of the shadow. That is a terrifying moment. It's also a holy one. Because for Jung, confrontation is not about blaming yourself. It's about finally admitting the pattern I keep meeting out there is also living in here. And the path my persona has taken is not my path. That's why Jacob wrestling the angel is such a powerful image for Jung. Jacob doesn't pray politely from a distance. He grabs the unknown and refuses to let go. He wrestles all night with a power he cannot control, and he comes out limping, wounded, and blessed with a new name. Most stories don't show integration. They show something else. Theseus kills the Minotaur, which only serves to reset the process. The same thing happens in Fight Club, where the solution is to put a bullet through Tyler Durden's head. That's not individuation. That's the same sort of problem that created the eruption of the shadow, enantiodromia, in the first place. It is amputation or repression and leads to a toxic kind of a regression. That's why The Lion King is such an absolute banger. He takes back his own strength, anger, and will to rule, the part that slipped into shadow under the Hakuna Matata persona, and he brings them under conscience. He fights with the power of the shadow, but he refuses the murderer's heart. At the crucial moment, he chooses justice over revenge. Just like Mufasa did, he shows Scar mercy, but without being naive, the part of the innocence that ended up being the death of Mufasa.